A historic meeting and decided to leave the past behind, and we are about to sign a historic document.
All right, chaps, this is going to be a bit of a tough one. Today we're going to have a chat about the supreme leader of North Korea, Kim Jong Un, and his billions in wealth. A great amount of misinformation exists about Kim, and the exact details of nearly every aspect of his life are up to some level of debate, even down to his actual birth year. America believes it to be the 8th of January, 1984, but South Korea says 83, and North Korea says 82. In any case, we're pretty sure on the circumstances that gave him his nearly $5 billion in net worth. That was the delightful four-syllable word, inheritance. Kim Jong Un was presented an entire state of all of its fortunes, which happened to encompass the entirety of the Hermit Kingdom of North Korea, all of its citizens from his father, Kim Jong II, after his death. Kim is North Korea's head of state, supreme ruler, and dictator. This means the country's wealth is his wealth, but the reverse is not necessarily true. If you love our work, hit the subscribe button and leave us a like for good measure. As I stated a second ago, Kim's wealth is intrinsically tied to his nation's wealth as a faux communist state. North Korea's main exports include agriculture and metallurgic projects, to armaments and textiles, to coats and suits. This, alongside the country's agricultural profits and services, puts the gross domestic product at around $18 billion in 2019. Many would think that Kim doesn't do a lot for his country, and to a degree, I suppose it's true. The U.S. has had a trade embargo with North Korea, and this stopped a lot of goods going into the country. Kim regularly flaunts these rules, as instead, he opts for the illegal means, falsifying documents on mid-sea ships and ship cargo transfers that allow him to break the sanctions with only minimal backlash, if any. If you think you get the picture, North Korea is trying to become an agriculturally self-sufficient state, but that's proving difficult as they simply don't have the land to support the people. They used to get help from Russia and China, but international relations between them has been strained ever since the end of the Korean War. Earlier I stated that North Korea was a faux communist state. Most would say it's a communist state, but the truth is a little more complex than that. A true communist state requires government control of every conceivable facet of the country's economy, from public transport to ensuring there's no private land. North Korea doesn't successfully tick any of those boxes required, as they are in fact a harsh dictatorship that exists to perpetrate the obscenely rich and privileged at the peak of their society and power by draining resources from its people, although through systematic oppression. I'll spare you further detail because this is not some bougie economics podcast, but I've explained their system so you can truly understand how Kim Jong-un's political power directly influences his and his generals' wealth. Now that we've covered that, let's talk about how he spends it. So it would seem this little fat cat has a penchant for exorbitantly expensive and downright decadence when supplying himself with the finest of what the world can offer. He's got the cars, although many are state-provided, but given that, he's in a state that has very little meaning. He's got a Maybach S62 and S600 worth upwards of $500,000 and $200,000 respectively, and that's before the armored modifications that have likely been made. Armored modifications like the ones received by his Mercedes-Benz S600, which is rumored to be worth around $1.7 million alone. He's got a fleet of Mercedes-Benz, a number of Rolls-Royce, and a handful of customized Land Rovers. That would set him back further by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Did you know he has a private train? That's right, bulletproof armor and all to ensure he's living that safe life. It's outfitted with everything he requires to ride the tracks in luxury. Maybe he'll take the train on his way to visit his private island known as Pleasure Island. It's been said to have a theater, a basketball court, a harbor, multiple villas, a shooting range, and more. NBA legend Dennis Rodman got to have a look inside, and he told all about the brazen extravagance of the island and its inhabitants. He had a $35 million ski resort built called Masik Kriong, and it has wood cabin rooms and 70 miles of ski slopes, originally designed to bring in tourism, but hardly anyone goes there. He has 2 planes, one of which is called Goshawk 1, but it's been dubbed Air Force Un. It's a private jet which he massively upgraded the interior, and it set him back about $1.5 million. This thing is luxurious to the max. It's got a bed, comfy chairs, and everything done in white leather upholstery. It's been told he has private golf courses, multiples in fact, but we don't know exactly how many. Around $3 million each to create and $500,000 a year to keep operational, but I don't see him engaging in much sport, with his busy schedule and everything, of course. Commissioned multiple theme parks, and the Pyongyang amusement park had a $100 million price tag, but he wound up not liking it, so there went that money. He likes a boat or two, that's for sure. He's got a number of yachts, but his most expensive is the Princess 95 MY that can hold a 24-person crew and would be worth $7 to $8 million. How exactly he got it into the country is unknown, but I'm sure that doesn't matter. It's reported he spends $30 million a year on alcohol, and they said he has around 2 to 3 bottles of some of the most expensive champagne available a day and has a taste for aged cognac. Kim has around 17 luxury homes scattered throughout the country, also fitted out with gyms and home cinemas, and has at least a grand piano per house worth around $64,000 each alone, and some houses have multiple pianos, just to be safe. Well, our boy is also a gift giver. He frequently purchases gifts for his generals, such as rare alcohol, a luxury watch, expensive fashion pieces like a fur coat or jewelry. It's said he spent over $4 billion on his generals the past 4 years. This guy has expensive taste. I don't just mean that because what he buys is usually affected by whether or not he likes it taste, but the gentleman has a definite love of valuable cuisine. A fan of black caviar, lobster, shark fin soup, Kobe steak. He will pair these foods up with Cristal, worth about $11,000 each. He also greatly enjoys Emmental cheese. So much it was rumored he ate so much cheese he gained enough weight to give him fractures in both ankles. North Korea spends roughly around $1 million a year on Hennessy. They imported $900,000 worth of Brazilian coffee for Kim and his entourage, clearly for the mornings after. He enjoys cigarettes, French designer Yves Saint Laurent, worth $44 a pack. Kim's personal collection of luxury timepieces, worth upward of $8.2 million. Now, quick question. Guess how much it's reported he spends a year? Go on, guess. $600 million. It seems almost unfeasible, but when you learn that a lot of it is gifts for his inner circle, well, it starts to make sense. I hope this has been educational for you and you've learned something. And we'll part with a question. If you were the supreme leader of a country, how would you run it? Would you do it different than Kim? Let us know in the comments below. Did you like the video? Hey, of course you did. Well, drop us a like and a subscribe for more content just like this.